What was the play? What was supposed to happen on the final Mac interception if he didn't get hit and throw the pick?
Yeah, I'm not going to go through the details of the play because you guys wouldn't figure it out. But we'll look at the tape tomorrow and we'll make those corrections.
Is Doug Pederson next up to, you know, is Dougie P next to be moved on from the Jacksonville Jaguars? Yeah, I'm very curious what your thoughts are.
I think so. And I think that this is a situation, though, I don't think that they'll do this midseason, nor do I think that they should. At this point, I think that Doug Pederson has had too much of a say in the pathway that this organization has gone. I think Doug has, like I said, he brought in a lot of his guys, defense coordinator, offense coordinator, brought in some, assistants. And this is a situation where I truly believe, like, for this one, what is there to gain by firing Doug Pederson now, right? This is a team that's looking to contend. This is a team that, respectfully, they don't have to rebuild. They went out and they signed guys in free agency, right? You went out, you got Eric Armstead, you got a lot of these dudes in free agency. You went out and you drafted a top tier wide receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. You went out and you got a guy in Gabe Davis. You gave him the bag. So this is something you have to try and let Doug Pederson correct. But do I think that he is the guy? I don't know. I think they've got a lot of issues. I think there's a lot of blame being pointed around, right? Doug Pederson seems to be blaming Trevor Lawrence at times. Trevor Lawrence in the offense says, hey, at times, we're just taking it game by game. Doug Pederson after the game said, I don't really focus on our team identity. That's something that changes week to week. I don't want to pinpoint who we are. And I think that's where the Jaguars are, right? They have two wins on the season. So the Jaguars, I think, have some serious questions to ask. There is no world where they're going to move off of Trevor Lawrence now, right? For whatever I want to say, for whatever I've seen, I think Trevor Lawrence made some serious mistakes in that game. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is playing up to par. I don't think that Trevor Lawrence is a superstar quarterback right now, but he's the guy you got. What is your alternative? And I think that's the question that all organizations should ask themselves. So yes, I think that right now, it depends on how they finish off the season, but Malik, they got 2 wins right now. And it's clear the Trevor Lawrence, Doug Pederson duo is not working out right now. So I would give them some time, try to let them figure it out. But who's going to be the first guy to go? We talked about this before. It should be offense coordinator Press Taylor. That should be the first guy to go when we're discussing Trevor, Doug Pederson, or your offense coordinator. It should be Press Taylor. But the issue that I have, and you hope that Doug Pederson would try to change his ways, is that's the reason why he left Philly. It was because he didn't want to get rid of Press Taylor. It's because he was loyal to him. So if you're loyal to him, if you're going to stand by him, you also have to stand by him in times of, where you're getting harped on. And this is one of the times. So I think it's one of two things. I think that Press Taylor, that would be a firing. I wouldn't be too shocked, and I wouldn't be upset as a Jaguars fan. I don't think that really does a whole lot negative to your team. So I think Doug Pederson should have a longer leash the rest of this season, but Press Taylor needs to be the first guy to go because, quite frankly, Malik, they're too talented to be in this position. They have too much going for them, and they're in these close games, and they continuously just find a way to lose these games. Doug Pederson is on the hot seat 1,000%, but I think that he does have a longer leash, and I think that this is going to head into this upcoming offseason unless if they continue to shit the bed the rest of the season. So
yeah, I definitely think it's probably time to move on from Doug Pederson if you've deemed the situation unfixable to a degree. I think the excitement of having a new shiny quarterback and a guy like Trevor Lawrence is kind of wearing off at this point. I think it's one of those things where it's like you're waiting to see it kind of all come to fruition, and it hasn't been that so far.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know who's coming in there. It's similar to the Saints. I don't know who you're getting to come in there to instill belief into that locker room, right? I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's like, okay, where do you go from here? Because Doug Pederson was brought in here because he was deemed to be a Super Bowl winning coach, a guy that had done it before, had been around the block. Going from Urban Meyer, to Doug Pederson is a big jump. Where so you had thought, and you're sort of left pondering. You're still left wondering. I know I certainly thought that the Jaguars are going to take a step or two.
They should.
And they just haven't. They just haven't. So it's one of those things where obviously you can't control your receivers getting hurt. Can't control any of that. But what you can control is what you can control. And right now, the Jaguars are in a situation in which things are just looking very bleak for them, and it sucks because I thought the Jaguars were going to be players in the AFC for a while.
Yes.
I thought the Jaguars were going to be players for a while in the AFC, and they just kind of just shat the bed a little bit.